firsthand, fam. Our first guest is the founder and creative director of a fashion brand that Forbes calls the quintessential go-to label for those who adore its femininity and vintage-inspired aesthetics. When I posted this picture of myself in the airport wearing the brand's knit set, this was 2019, my comment section was flooded with people wanting to know who made what I was wearing. The answer, LoveShackFancy. And it's a brand that epitomizes more. People who love fashion love the standout statements, the ruffles, the flowers, and dare we say, the pink. Just take a look. For Rebecca Hessel Cohen, LoveShackFancy is not just a brand, it's a lifestyle.
Bouquets, bows, pink, and tulle. Another day in the world of LoveShackFancy. A kitchen full of flowers, there's literally always something to celebrate. I'm wearing my favorite pink tulle skirt, my highest pink platforms, and I'm getting ready to make all the magic happen.
Please welcome Rebecca Hessel Cohen to the show! In the building.
And a lot of color and pink. I love it.
A lot of the things you love.
Oh my God,
they love you so much they're still standing. You can have a seat. You can have a seat. Let me talk. Congratulations.
Thank you.
10 years.
10 years.
Wow.
Yes.
And I love it. It all started because you couldn't find dresses you liked for your bridesmaids.
Exactly. I couldn't find
Doesn't everything start that way?
Always. And here's my wedding, here are my dresses, and so I decided to design my own and work with a seamstress in New York City, and that's how it all happened.
You know, it's so interesting. We talk about, especially in the fashion world, it's about being prepared for that moment. Yeah. And so you had this desire to create your own line, and then this unique opportunity happened when your mother-in-law had your lookbook, and a very famous person named Gwyneth Paltrow happened to be nearby.
Yes, and so I was working at Cosmopolitan magazine then. I was a senior fashion editor. I was in magazines for 9 years, so I never wanted to start my own line, by the way. This all just happened because, and then I grabbed all of these samples of my bridesmaids' dresses of the sample one of a kind, took them to Gwyneth Paltrow's stylist, was like, here, just show them to her if you have 1 second, just whatever you do. And
what made you want to take that shot? Because so much...
You just have to go.
You have to go.
Like any opportunity you get, you have to go, you have to run. I left work early, didn't tell anybody, grabbed everything. You know, I was sitting at my desk, totally bored on a Friday afternoon when nothing was going on in the summer, and I just went and I gave the dresses, and then I got a call like a week later. You'll never believe this, Gwyneth loves the dresses and she wants to do a collab with you for her new company called Goop.
Wow.
And so that
was, You know, I know that Betsy Johnson was one of your one of your inspirations,
still.
of course. And obviously I'm a fan of the brand. I've worn the brand. My nieces, whenever they call me, they go, okay, here's our list of LoveShackFancy that we need in our life. But I am so struck by the fact you used to be a dark blazer, platform, dark clothing,
still
platforms, a lot brighter, a lot blingier.
Yes.
The evolution of who you are from the person who wore the black blazers and the black platforms. How do you get to this enormity of pink and ruffles?
Yeah, well, not because it makes you happy, right? Like, so I think that, I mean, I was so inspired by my daughters and having my first, when I launched LoveShackFancy 10 years ago, she turned 10, LoveShackFancy turned 10, and then I went back into this world of like fantasy and magic and princesses and tulle and all of this that like, I mean, it's so, you know, whimsical, and so I wanted to live in it too, you know, and I was always in the black mini skirts or the sexier dresses, or I was more rock and roll, and then I just fell in love with all of it again, and that's sort of where, and now I can't get out of it, and it's just a feeling.
It's a feeling, but it's also a story. I mean, when you walk into your store, I've also saw the feature of you in a magazine. It is a story of fantasy. It's a story of imagination. That's why this particular edition of our up-and-coming fashion designer series, they said, what do you want the theme to be? And I said, more. We just need more ruffles, more. Because there's a freedom, right? And having the nerve to have a closet, hang on, like this. Let's take a look. These are the color, the pink. Everything is organized. Lots of pink, lots of beige. The reality, it takes a level of independence and nerve to say, I love the bright, I love the ruffle, I love the indulgence of it because it makes me feel good.
Right, exactly. And it's a feeling. And so I think putting on pink, putting on color, putting on the ruffles, the layers, the tulle, the lace, everything. I mean, I live for it. I source all of our vintage, which is where all the inspiration comes from. And so and I love to get dressed. Like, of course, I love to wear sweatpants too at home, but like, there's nothing better. I wear sweatpants with heels too, by the way.
Listen. There's nothing wrong with a pink sweatpant anywhere. But I love this because we have a number of fashion students in the audience, people who are looking for their dream, different universities. You gave some advice in Forbes magazine, and I have my notes here because I want to quote it because it's a really inspiring quote. You said, never follow the rules. Chase your wildest dreams, and above all else, believe in yourself. You went on to say there's a lot of noise and opinions when starting a brand. Therefore, sticking to your vision and following your gut is the key to success. Those are beautiful words and inspiring words.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think if I had listened to everyone else who said, this is never gonna work, this isn't the aesthetic right now, it's very minimal, it's very, primary colors, like your world it's not what's trendy now. You can't just change based on what department stores want, what buyers want. You really have to have a strong vision and, a strong identity and follow that. And I think really you need to, number one, follow your gut and listen to your heart. And there's gonna be so much noise and everyone's gonna tell you what you should do, what you shouldn't do. And no matter what, you always have to just say, okay, this is what feels good and the path I need to follow.